Hey YouTube family, how are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. So this is a Fender Stratocaster made in Mexico. It's like new. It's barely been played. This thing hasn't got, a ding or dent or scratch or anything anywhere. Really good shape. This belongs to my friend Barry. So if you've watched my channel for a while, you've heard me do a couple episodes called The Barry Show. This is where Barry takes gear over to my house and I demo it. Because he's got a lot of gear and super nice stuff too. So this is something that he picked up on a trade, and I don't think the gentleman ever played it. It's got little to no fretwear. The nut is not cut very well, so you can tell it hasn't been set up. The intonation is totally off. You can tell just by the position of the saddles. So what are we doing with this? Barry wants it, well, number one, totally set up and blacked out, but not the chrome hardware, just pickguard, pickup covers, and knobs. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and I thought I'd take you on the journey because I got to take it apart anyway, and I'll show you what's inside, and you guys will see how much work it is to get one of these Strats up to par. Yeah, let's get right down to it. Take these strings off and see what we got going on. So now that the strings are off, I might as well get you some specs. Plug that in here. But this old meter doesn't do inductance, so I'll just give you the resistance. Bridge position, we have 8.28. Oh, that's pretty good. Middle position, we have 7.85. Neck position, we have 7.15. Neck and middle, 3.80. And bridge and middle, 4.10. Nut width, 1.66 inches or 42.1 millimeter. Thickness at the first fret, 24.1 millimeter or 0.94 inches. Thickness at the 12th fret, we have 0.97 inches or 24.7 millimeters. Width at the 12th fret, we have 51.8 millimeter or 2.04 inches. Width at the first fret, we have 1.7 inches or 43.3 millimeters. If you want details on a guitar, go check out Brian at Searching for Tone. This guy covers all the little details. In case you're curious, this is 52 millimeter, same with the middle and same with the neck. So they're all 52s. And the string spacing, of course, I'll just squeeze these together. That is 52 as well. Get you some ratios on these tuners. Take a toothpick, pointier the better. Stick it in your tuner and set it so that the toothpick is 90 degrees to the headstock. Then take a winder and put the winder on the tuner so that the winder arm is facing the top like so, and then just crank. So every time the winder arm reaches the top, that's one turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so at 7, it's pointing directly the opposite way. So this is a 14:1 ratio, but we'll keep going just for fun. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There you go. 14:1 ratio tuners they have on this. It has this butterfly style string tree. Normally I change these because I hate these butterfly string trees. But this one is contoured in the middle. Do you see that? It's rounded. So the string doesn't touch the outer and inner edges of the butterfly tree. There's very little contact on the string. The crappy ones are the ones that are flat all the way across. It's like your string is making contact with a knife edge, literally. So I hate those. I take them off. And you can usually bend them with your fingers. So they're no good. But these are okay. The only thing I don't like about this one is it has no spacer. It's sitting directly on the headstock and there's way too much break angle compared to all the other strings. All right, let's take this neck off. It's funny how they have the 3 springs on the 3 inner hooks. I would space them out, and that's what we're going to do. And but check out that massive block. All right, these screws are definitely threading into the body. All right, that neck just fell out of the pocket, so it doesn't appear to be too tight in there. Let's hold this together. Flip the guitar over. Oh, it just came right out. Yeah, so definitely not a tight neck pocket. It can just comes right in and out. Lots of play left and right. That's all right. It's not terrible. The heel is really nice. There's no sprouting where the neck screws come in. This has the insert for the micro tilt, but the body doesn't have it. This neck pocket is, it's weird. You can see the 4 neck holes up here, and then there's 4 other holes around this big center tap, whatever the heck that is. An indexing hole for a CNC machine or something. There's a little lip of paint here in the back side, so we'll just get rid of that. But other than that, it's really nice and smooth in there. So this neck we'll put aside, because we'll probably need to do some fret work. I don't know. We'll see. They're a little dull, but they're still reflecting light, so it's not too bad. And this neck is really dry, so we'll obviously have to condition that. We'll take this pickguard off and have a look underneath. And it works out well because Barry wants, he gave me a different pickguard to put on. $13mm wrench required for the pots. All right, place your bets. Real switch, full-size pots, or box switch, mini pots, or a mixture of both. All right, look at that. We have Alnico pickups. Yep, I believe they're Alnico 5s. We're not using these covers. We have a wafer switch, feels really good. And we have full-size pots. 250K unbranded pots. There's just numbers on them. There's no brand, so they're not CTS or anything. It's black in there. That might be shielding paint. Let's check if it's shielding paint. You see the numbers here? Yes, sir. We got shielding paint. As you can see, we have a humbucker route at the neck. We got just a single coil at the middle and another humbucker at the bridge. Very nicely routed. No issues whatsoever. No splintering. And the shielding paint is a definite bonus. And I also like this bridge because it's a 2-point synchronized trem, not the 6 screws that you normally find on a Strat. Good job, Mexico. So we're going with a black pickguard, all shielded, very similar to the one we just took off. Put some black pickup covers, some black knobs, and a black switch tip. We'll put that in there. Volume, tone, and tone. And what else we got? We're going with some Ernie Ball Slinkies 942s. And a bunch of black screws for reassembly. And the black plate for the rear. So this is a Music Lily pickguard, and it said made for Mexican Strat. And yeah, no kidding. Fits like a glove. Drop these screws in. It's too bad these aren't black. There, black screw. Watch this. I'm gonna poke some holes in the center of the little flaps that go on both sides of the plastic bag. Right? And then take these screws, put them in there. Right? See, screws go in there. So now when I'm just gonna paint the tops of them, and then I can just set them like that to dry. Woo! Telling ya, some pretty advanced stuff in J-Man's basement. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint these. While these screws are drying, I'll go work on the neck. And in case you're wondering, these have a huge entry hole for the truss rod. It's not a 4mm, you need a 5mm truss rod wrench for this. Alright, so I got the neck done. Now we got some shiny frets, look at that. Conditioned fretboard. So there were 3 high spots. Fret 10, 12, and 17 were had some high spots, so I just knocked those down with some spot leveling, recrowned those, and I polished them all, and we are good to go. So while I had this apart, I thought I'd just do a search of the serial number at the back. And this particular model is a Mexican Player Stratocaster. The fingerboard is Pau Ferro. It's a 9.5 radius. It says the body is alder. Body finish is gloss polyester. 2-point synchronized trim. Bent saddles, yes. Black color, obviously, single, single, single. Country of origin is Mexico. Satin urethane finish on the back of the neck. Modern C, 22 frets. Synthetic bone nut. Alnico 5 pickups. This was made November 18th, 2021. Stamped right there on the neck. November 18, 2021. My paint is dried on my screws, so let's reassemble this thing. Alright, we are back in black. Look at that beauty, man. That's awesome. I put some solid steel saddles on the bridge instead of those stamp ones. And we'll keep the stamp ones for, you know, whatever. If ever wants to sell it, I guess. But I think these will be much better to set action height and to have some solidity with the screw inside the body. We're ready to reassemble the neck. I drilled out these holes, so we're all good to go. Gotta separate these springs. Easy peasy. There, that looks better. Snugging up some tuners before I restring. Take this string retainer off and put a spacer underneath it. So now the string tree is not sitting on the headstock. There's a little spacer there. Alright, just finished filing these nut slots down because they were all high. And lubricated it. So we're getting close. So now I got to retune and recheck the action, because when you cut the nut slots, it kind of drops everything down just a bit. But with a 9.5 radius, you don't have a whole lot of grace. So I'm going to double check that. All right, well, I thought I was done. And I was going to do a little sound check. Guitar's all set up. Action's perfect. Nut height at the first fret is perfect. I had to add a second string tree. I had one of the good butterfly ones here because there was no break angle on the G and D strings at all. They were kind of almost floating in the nut and they were vibrating open string. And that drives me nuts. And that rectified everything. And then I started playing and I have like buzzing all over the neck. I'm like, what? What's going on? What's wrong with this thing? So, without changing anything, I just went to get my fret rocker and I started just checking frets, right? Between the strings. Everything's good. And look at that. Fret number 3 is high right across. It wasn't before. Move down. Fret number 5 is high all the way across. It wasn't before. This one's good. So I got a few good ones. And now fret number 11 is high. Fret number 13 is high in the middle. Fret number 15 is high at the end. It's like, what the heck is going on? And then I realized it's a Fender. Fender doesn't glue in their frets. They don't. Just like any other budget guitar company who cuts corners to put out a good guitar, but they have to save money by saving time. They don't glue their frets in, right? Now, this guitar is probably $700 or $800. I don't know why the frets aren't glued in. So the problem with companies when they don't glue their frets in is that when this guitar sits for a while, things dry up and the guitar kind of adjusts to that position. Then when you condition everything and the wood grain can actually absorb some moisture and stuff, things start to move. So that's why with my budget guitars, I always condition the fretboard before beginning any fretwork. I condition the fretboard first, I let it sit, buff the board out, make sure there's no residue, and then I dress any unlevel frets, either by gluing and pressing them in with a clamp, or some of them you just need to tap a little bit, or leveling. Like some frets are just high, and you can tap them and press them in all you want, they're still going to be high. Because it says Fender on the headstock, I didn't do this time. I just leveled the 3 spots, I did whatever, conditioned my fretboard, came back here, and now I got to take these strings off and I got to go level this fretboard because it's driving me nuts. Now, it's not terrible, but with the action this low, you hear buzzing everywhere and it drives me nuts. You can't hear it through the amp, but if there's buzzing on a guitar, I fix it. It drives me nuts. But then when you get here, there's more buzzing. And up here, there's more buzzing. Because there's another high fret over here. It's super frustrating. Guitar companies, just take an extra half hour and glue your frets in. You would save customers so many headaches if you just glued your frets in. Glue them in! Anyway, I gotta go fix this. I'll be back. Alright, it is done. Fret level, crowned, and polished for a second time. There we go. Action's nice and low. Well, as low as you can get on a 9.5 radius. The black on black is sweet, man. Looks good. Bridge pickup. Second position. Middle. Fourth position, middle and neck. And neck. And a little bit of drag. Back in black, baby. Fender Mexico. Thanks for following me on this. You guys take care. God bless. And Barry, I hope you like it.